What's up, guys? This is Ironhide X. I'm doing another battleship guide that's going to be covering more of the tactics. I'm making this because after watching or looking at the forums and seeing all the things about battleships and just everything I'm seeing, I wanted to set a few
Our
things
team has
straight.
taken the lead.
So, one of the big arguments here on the forums right now is that battleship accuracy is horrible and needs to be fixed, blah blah blah. I don't think battleship accuracy has changed since beta. Um, and they feel about the same to me. The tier 3 and the tier 4 might be like horribly inaccurate, especially on the American side, but it evens out once you get to tier 5 and you can start putting the accuracy modules or whatnot on your ships. They don't feel any less accurate to me. I think they're fine as it is. The only thing that I would like to see changed in the game currently is I would like the fucking retarded ass instant drop on you torpedo shit from the carriers. That sucks. I mean, because I'm a really good battleship player and I cannot avoid those torpedoes. And I know this does not change no matter the tier. When I was playing my Yamato in beta, a good carrier will still get you, and there's nothing you can do. You can evade, no matter how you evade or what you do, they'll just turn and drop on you, and you're just screwed. All right, so back to my battleships. Here I'm in my Congo. This is that new map. I don't know what it's called. It's whatever. Up here, I'm facing a Warspite and a whole bunch of different cruisers and whatnot. And I told my destroyers, your smoke's not helping me at all. Actually, their smoke gave cover for the enemy, so I was spotted, but then I couldn't fire back there for a minute. And then the guy, Dabin, I think is his name. I don't know. He's an idiot. Dabin, this is Ironhide. We're in the match, and you're an idiot. So anyways, some of the things, why do you do what you do in battleships? Well, in my Congo here, it's not the toughest battleship, but it has a lot of speed, it's got good guns, and the best range of anything other than like tier 8s. You know, anything this thing will pretty much face, you can range fight with. One thing I don't want to do, if you look at those cruisers, they all have torpedoes. I know they all have torpedoes, so I'm not going to go point blank with 4 of the things and just get torpedoed. I'm confident I can take at close range 1 or 2 of them. There's too many there, plus that Warspite. Being situationally aware is one of your number 1 skills you need to do in battleships, guys. Right now I'm steaming away so I could put fire onto the cruisers who are fairly close to me while staying out of the Warspite's gun range. So that's what I'm doing right here. I want to stay out of the Warspite gun range while firing onto these cruisers. Some of the big skills you need to learn in battleships is shooting. Shooting and maneuvering. Shooting and maneuvering are like the 2 hugest deals. Being able to shoot and land your salvos is super, super important. If you are having a hard time landing your shots at far distance, at long range, then guys, get closer. I mean, if you are absolutely useless if you're not doing damage. Period. I don't care if whatever circumstance, if you can't do the damage in a battleship, you need to get closer until you can. One of the things I see on the forums is the should you ripple fire or salvo fire? Now you see right now I'm firing my forward 2 turrets and then my rear 2 turrets, and that's just because of how they were lined up. I prefer to salvo fire, and the reason why I prefer to salvo fire and just let all my guns off at once is most times I will first salvo hit at any target at any range most times. Now I have several thousand games played in beta and whatnot, so I've had a lot of practice. But why do I think salvo fire is preferred over the ripple fire? Well, here's the thing. Like you see this Warspite here, he's just selling along. That's going to get you dead quick, especially if you're facing someone who knows what they're doing. Like if you're facing me and you're in a battleship and you're doing what this guy's doing, you're going to lose. There's no doubt in my mind, almost no matter the tier even. I don't care if he's in a tier 8. He's probably going to lose because I'm bladed. You see, I only turn the ass of my ship to get my guns on target, and then I blade back up so that he can't citadel me. If you're in a battleship and you're facing another battleship, the only time they're really going to hurt you is when you're showing them your broadside, because that's when they can citadel you. If you're bladed like I am, either going towards or away from the target, 99.99% of the time they will not be able to citadel you, and that's how you fight in a battleship. And so that's why I think salvo fire is preferred over the ripple fire, is just because I can let off all my shots and then angle again and protect myself. It's all about doing maximum damage while staying alive. And so if I let loose a salvo, angle, his return fire will do almost nothing to me. And that's the name of the game. So being extremely situational aware, being able to shoot, and knowing how to angle your ship, those are the things. You get those 3 things down, and you'll find your success rate and your win rate and just the damage you do per game go through the roof. So I backed away for a bit because all those cruisers were there. Well, now they've scattered a bit. So now I'm going to charge. Now I know I'm quicker than that Warspite, and I'm just as quick as most of those cruisers. So I want to get in here. I want to capture this cap and annihilate anything that's going to get in my way. Now that they can't all focus on me because they've been broke up a bit. As far as the AP versus HE, I still prefer AP. 90% of the time I shoot AP. The only time I really switch to HE now is when I'm going against destroyers, because AP does not seem to work as well on them. Being able to consistently citadel hit with armor piercing with AP is how you do it. Like, watch now, this cruiser. This is where aiming comes in. He's so close he can pop his torpedoes. So if I screw up here, I'm going to take some torpedoes from him. So I know he's coming. I slam on the brakes. I want him to pop out, and as soon as he pops out, I'm gonna fucking salvo his ass. That's the name. That's the plan. So I'm waiting for him. He pops out. He sees me. He starts to turn. It's too late. I let loose my broadside, and down goes the first cruiser. You got to make sure you can shoot though. If I miss that, he's gonna pop torpedoes at me, and because I slowed down, my maneuvering is gonna be kind of shit. And so I could have possibly took some torpedo hits. So make sure y'all know how to lead targets really well and whatnot. I see some other cruisers coming up. Another thing I do, guys, in battleships, when I get set on fire, if you watch, missed the first salvo, and not the second. When I get set on fire, guys, if I get set on fire and it's just a single stack fire, just one fire, I normally let it burn, and I don't use my repair on it, just because you don't want to get hit with a torpedo or get on set of fire immediately after. I just prefer to let it burn if I have heal kits left. Fire damage is almost 100% soft damage, so you can pop your heal in a battleship and it'll heal almost all that fire damage. And that's why I just let one fire burn, because later on I'll just hit my heal and heal it all back. And there's no need for me to burn my repair, because if I do burn my repair and I screw up, okay, same situation right here as last time. Slam on the brakes, wait for him to come around. I'll distract him. So anyway, people saying the battleship guns aren't accurate enough. Yes, they are. I think they're fine just the way they are, and they only get more accurate the higher up you go. I think one of the problems why there's so much complaining about it on the forums is that so many people are in the tier 3 and tier 4 battleships, which do have really horribly inaccurate guns. I mean, they're really, really bad. But as soon as you get to tier 5, and I have the New York also, they're both about, New York and the Congo here, about the same. It's not bad. It's okay. You can citadel on a regular basis. So all these targets here, this Warspite, he seemed to somewhat know what he was doing, kinda. At least he was shooting armor piercing, and so he's who I wanted to take out first. Again, gunnery is so important in battleships. Being able to hit your targets and kill them. So you see that fire damage. I hit my repair as his shells were coming in. He was shooting armor piercing, which is more dangerous than HE. Anytime I face a battleship and they're shooting HE at me, they're not even a nothing. And a little bit of shit talking there, because I just wiped out 4 ships, and I can do that. Next up, a little tier 4. I think it's tier 4. walking the shells across. And as you see, I'm bladed here. So if he returns fire, they're not going to do max damage to me because I'm bladed away from him. I'm able to keep all my guns on target while taking almost no damage in return. Even if he was firing at me, I don't believe he is. So about this time, I could have swore this match is going well. I'm slaughtering the enemy. Da-da-da-da-da. I hit this guy hard again. And I figure I'll just, whoever's over there will finish him off. I just left him in like 1,000 hit points or less even. And then here in a second, I'll have to turn.
Our victory is in sight.
Okay, now if you look at again, check your mini-map, guys. That's part of being situationally aware. I see one of the most dangerous ships on the enemy team is coming up on my rear, and he's going to be capping A. Now, I really think that battleships, for the most part, shouldn't be the primary cappers in a team. Cruisers and destroyers are much faster, much more agile, and I believe should be doing most of the capping. But the battleship should be doing most of the fighting. They should be taking most of the hits and doing most of the damage. Not saying cruisers can't. I'm really good in my cruisers too, and I really like cruisers. Especially this Cleveland. I actually wanted this Matsuki to come with me to help me take this Cleveland. But I was assuming he was driven by a halfway competent player, but he's not. This Cleveland's just now,
the enemy team has taken the lead.
In a Cleveland, what he should have done was stayed at his max gun range and just kept raining shells on me while evading and maneuvering. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that. He decides to come to point blank range, thinking he's a Cleveland versus a Congo and knows he's eating me up. But that's not going to happen. He's too close now. He's showing me his citadel. He's showing me his broadside. Even if I don't citadel him, my shells are going to do tons of damage. And then I know he doesn't have torpedoes, so I want to get as close to him as I can. And you see, my shells are not missing. I mean, I'm slamming into him, and his fire damage. Again, just letting it burn. If I get a 2-stack fire, I'll put it out. But until then, I just let it burn and use my heal kit. And this was a full health Cleveland when he came in on me. And he is getting beat up pretty badly here. And now my secondaries. Now the Japanese have better secondary fire on ship versus ship than the Americans. So getting close to like a Cleveland like this can really hurt him with your secondaries. But showing me his broadside like that, showing me his citadels, that's really bad. And this will be the end of him right here. Right in this side. Okay, there's kill number 5. So while this is going on and I'm slaughtering the enemy team, somehow my team is just getting wiped out by those little low-tier battleships that were almost dead. I turned this way to face what I thought was the biggest threat, the Cleveland, because these guys are all almost dead. I'm like, how did this happen? How did we go from 250, 300 up down like this? What? So anyways, this is the end of my battleship guide. Remember, guys, when you're facing another battleship, blade yourself, angle your ship. If you do that, they're not a real big threat. Wait for them to turn. Also, don't fire your guns if you don't have to. If they're bladed like that and you know they're about to turn to shoot at you and they're doing what I do, wait for them to show you their citadels before you fire your guns. Armor piercing, in my opinion, is still the way to go. Situational awareness, blade yourself, knowing how to shoot. Again, salvo fire, I believe, is the way to go because you can fire your guns and then you can angle quickly and then wait for your reload. And as soon as you're reloaded, you can angle back out, fire your guns, angle back in, and repeat. Doing that versus other battleships, you will find your success rate will go way up. Normally, I could take 2 or 3 different battleships at the same time just because they keep trying to sell broadside to you, or they shoot HEA. So yeah, I was hoping this is going to be a win. I don't really know what happened. I earned more experience than almost everybody on the winning team even. There's one guy I think on the winning team had like 20 more experience than me. But Anyway, if you liked the video, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. This is Ironhide X. Hit me up with any requests, reviews, comments, whatever. I'll see y'all in game. If you're an aircraft carrier, don't twerk me. Don't twerk me. Don't twerk me. That's bad. Don't be a bad man. Don't be bad.